Assalamualaikum and a very pleasant evening, everyone. First of all, thank you for coming. As we all know, we are here today to discuss and negotiate about the road closure issue in the downtown area in Kuala Lumpur, specifically in Jalan Tun Abdul Razak, which is known as Jalan Tar. I am here today with my fellow city council, which is Richman and Shahiran, and me myself is Aisya. We are here to discuss with the fellow residents and traders in the Jalan Tar. This is because based on the petition we've made for a few months, we understand that there are some dissatisfied and unpleasant response and are against this road closing project. So to start, I'm going to call upon my fellow city council, Richman, to give explanation.
All right, thank you, Aisha. So, a very good evening to the respective traders team and members of the floor. All right, as stated by Aisha just now, City Council team really firm with our stand to close the road in downtown Kuala Lumpur. Kuala Lumpur is a growing city day by day. The number of tourists that visit the city has increased steadily every year. The number of foreign tourists is approximately 13.79 million in 2018, and this figure is increasing about 9.87% in the next year. Kuala Lumpur also has become one of the most visited cities in the world and among the top cities such as Bangkok, Paris, London, Dubai, and Singapore. If we compare to the other cities that I stated just now, most of the cities have a high percentage of public transport reliability index. However, Kuala Lumpur is not among the top cities for that. In a study conducted in 2017, Kuala Lumpur ranked 95 out of 100 cities that being observed in the Sustainable Cities Mobility Index, which one of the criteria in that survey was the reliability of public transport to the people in the city. I would like to quote one from Samantha Kaur in her article. She mentioned that Kuala Lumpur's low ranking indicates that the transport system is still pretty patchy. Hence, many residents still option to use private transport instead. We cannot deny that our public transport are not advanced enough to compare to London subway, to the Japanese bullet train, the Singapore MRT or Bangkok BTS SkyTrain. But we believe by closing the road in downtown KL, we're able to boost our public transport usage. And by boosting this usage of public transport, we can get enough feedback from our people in order to improve our own public transport. With the presence of MRT SBK line and the upcoming MRT SSP line that should be completed by 2022, we believe that the mobility of our people around KL will be improved, which the purpose of the development of this public transport is to increase its efficiency and serve the needs of our people. As we can see now, public transport are flooded with immigrants and foreign workers, which is a very worsening situation. Our people are still choosing personal vehicle instead of public transport. This is a little bit of waste as it is the taxpayers' money used to cover the cost of the public transport construction. Hence, by closing the road, we hope that using public transport to move from one place to another will become a new norm in our society. And with the road closure, we want to encourage our people to use public transport as their first choice when entering Kuala Lumpur. That is why I would like to restate again that we are firm with our decision to close the road in Jalan Tar and in order to move our city becoming a truly developed and well-planned city. Thank you.
Thank you, Richman. To add, for our, for our purpose and the main factor for why we are closing the road, as we know, when we use transports, and Kuala Lumpur has one of the highest transportation index in Malaysia, the air pollution in Kuala Lumpur increased drastically every year. So we believe that by closing this road is gonna be one of the initiative to cut down the air pollution in Kuala Lumpur for a better future.
Hello, good evening to all. Yeah, I agree with Aisya's point here because if you can see for our perspective of tourism in Kuala Lumpur, over 30 millions of domestic and international visitors recorded in 2018 in Kuala Lumpur and Selangor itself. So the number have risen since 2016, but basically in Jalanta around Kuala Lumpur, it has dropped from 8.6 million visitors in 2016 and 8.1 million in 2017, and these numbers keep decreasing in 2018. This is due to the amount. This is due to amount of traffic that have risen from month to month, and making the road congestion to be worsened. This would make tourism around Jalanta to be inconvenient, as tourists find themselves hard to move from one place to another. Plus, the number of road accidents, including road fly-by robberies, which have risen, making tourists to not feel safe around Jalan Tun Abdul Razak. So that's why they prefer to not go to Kuala Lumpur around Jalanta, especially to visit in Malaysia. They prefer somewhere else. Plus, the data was suspected. The tourism that have decreases is suspected to be affected by air quality around Jalan Tun Abdul Razak, which is 70 to 75 rating on API, air pollution index, in 2016. And this has been rises about 5 API each year. And last year we recorded about 83 index yearly, which is 75 to 85 index for daily, and this is one of the main reason why we lost more and more tourists, because tourists, we believe they are more particular in keeping their health in the best condition possible. And according to some studies, tourists often come to Malaysia to shop and for leisure, and to find some tranquility. But the condition in Kuala Lumpur, especially in Jalanta, make it opposite to what they want, which contribute to tourist number loss. From our statistical team, we believe that road closure can improve traffic around Jalanta, and the air pollution can be decreases. And we believe that during this road closure, the tourist number can be rise as normal, and tourists can also enjoy the view of beautiful building around Kuala Lumpur, such as Petronas Twin Tower, which is about less than 400 meters from Jalan Tun Abdul Razak, to capture some of the amazing photos of the Petronas Twin Tower. So I believe with this road closure, tourist number can be increased.
So based on the factors we have given to you guys, why we are closing the road, can I know what is your concern, for being dissatisfied with our decision?
Okay, good afternoon. I'm Lau and representing Kuala Lumpur business community, and Syahirra will represent the group from NGO, and Kimberly will represent the economic community in Kuala Lumpur. So first and the most obviously, road closure will have a knock-on effect for all the following business planning, such as business management, expanding, and also for the investment. So according to the data we collected from most of the traders in the downtown area, so the overall sales in the downtown area will decline significantly from 82% and slump to 31% due to decrease in flow of the customer for the physical store in the downtown area. So next is the logistic and public transportation will become an unfair disadvantages for a physical shop during the road closure period, and most of the more manpower are needed to unload the goods from the outside of the downtown to the downtown area. So the traders have to pay more cost on the transportation for to to handle this rapid increase of demand. And besides, the traders will also have to do the redundancy in order to cut down the cost. Employment has increased, and employment has increased because of the trade is very bad. So when the sale decrease, the traders are not able to cover the high cost to manage a business in downtown area anymore. And at the end, they have to end their business in the downtown area and migrate their business to outside of the downtown area or even go bankrupt. So for example, the bad recession will not attract any investor to come into the downtown area to buy a property or company stocks, and less financial support for the businessmen to continue or expand their business in the area. So by then, the demands of the downtown area will increase dramatically, and to aggregate the demand, the supply of the goods and service also increase. So this may cause another unwanted inflation and unbalanced development among the area in one country only. So I will pass to my member, Shahiran. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Lau, and a very good morning. So, like Lau said that they need more manpower during this road closure. Okay, so I will explain why. Because since the vehicles are not allowed to enter the area, so the traders have to download their goods at a very far place, where it takes around 10 to 15 minutes to go there. Okay, just imagine like if they have to walk 15 minutes from the store and then another 15 minutes to go back to the store for one trip. So how long do you think it will take for them to transfer all the goods from the truck to their store? Okay, so this process will require a longer time, and that's why they need more manpower to make it shorter, because yeah, the truck's driver have their own schedule and they can't wait too long for that particular store to move their goods and all. Okay, so we need to consider the available time for both parties. I mean, for the trucks to deliver the goods and for the traders to load the goods. Okay, and Lau also said that they are facing business losses. Okay, I believe that this movement will not just settle down in a month. So if this matter continue for a longer time, if the traders are facing a consistent business losses, the business owners may need to tap into their personal saving or those of their company to handle the decline. Okay, like they may need to reduce their operational costs, such as reducing their equipment or laying off their employees. In a worst case, some of them may need to shut down their business, and many people will lose their jobs. Okay, so I think that this movement not just affect the traders, but can also be a burden for some community. Okay, at Jalanta, it's not like only one business running there. We have a lot of business. So how many people have to lose their jobs just due to this road closure movement? Okay, and I will pass my discussion to my fellow friends, Kimberly, yeah, to continue explain.
First of all, a very good afternoon to all the City Council members and also to my fellow traders. So first of all, I would like to address one of the issues that has been brought up by the City Council team by Shahiran, that he said that the tourism would decline and that tourisms will not feel safe. But the thing is that if the shops are closed, as mentioned before by my traders, by Shira, that if the shops are closed, then how would they come to shop and like basically hang out for leisure? So it's contradicting the point where you said that if tourists are at this at Jalan Tun Razak to basically go around and just capture like nice views and all that, but when the business are not there to actually provide the necessary facilities and goods and services such as cafes or maybe even like shopping malls, then how would they attract more tourists to that area if it is just for taking nice photos? But I digress, and moving on to my actual points is that I believe that from this road closure there would be a few other more issues, as I would like to expand upon again. That is fewer job opportunities, as when these traders, like they are struggling to make more income from to, because after getting their sales affected, they would not be able to manage their business more efficiently anymore, and they might have to lower the salary of their employees, or they might even have to lay off their employees. So this is one of the issues that would happen. And also, second of all, if the sales decrease, there would be a lack of the number of sales, so the population that would be buying these products would decrease. So from the perspective of foreign investors, they would see this as a disadvantage, so they would not want to invest their brands or their goods in Malaysia anymore because of because of this road closure that happens to also be in the most populated part of Malaysia, that is in the capital, that is in Kuala Lumpur. So yeah, and that is all for my points.
Right. Thank you for all your explanation. We really take into account all the issues. However, I would like to restate that the purpose of closing the road, the first is about the air pollution, and the second thing is we want to enhance the public transport. All right, like what Lau said just now from the traders team, Lau, she said that the drop of sales due to the decrease of customers, right? So what can I say that this is what we are trying to do. When the people don't have that chance to go to that place by their personal vehicles, I think until a certain time they will use public transport. That is what we are trying to do. We want to enhance. We want to create a new norm where our people have to use public transport to enter Kuala Lumpur. I think yes, it might take a certain time until that our people are being educated to use public transport. That is what we are trying to do, because most developed countries, their people not using their personal vehicles so much. Even in Singapore, they don't have, they are not, yes, Kimberly?
Sorry to interrupt, but you said that public transport, that most of the people are not educated to actually use public transport. But the thing is, there's millions of people actually using the public transport to head to their job locations every single day in and out of Kuala Lumpur itself. And aren't you worried that with the use of without the use of personal vehicles, that this public transport system may in fact get even more congested, especially when our public transport system is not as efficient as those in other countries such as Singapore or wherever else?
All right. About that, wait, let me answer first, Kimberly. All right. About the public transport efficiency, is as I stated in my explanation just now, most of our public buses like Rapid KL, they are flooded with immigrants and foreign workers. So, and it is not efficient, as the buses also have to go through the traffic jams with all the people's other people's vehicles. So when we close the road and we open the road only for public transport, so the movement of the buses will be more efficient. There will be no like a very long time to wait for a bus. That is what we are trying to working for and to solve that issue.
Okay, so thank you for Richman. And I think the public transport is not a whole solution for this case, because public, for example, if the customer buy bigger things, so or they have to buy many things, so they cannot carry the things using the public transportation only. And for the traders, just now, one of our problem is we have to unload the goods from one place to one place. So the public transportation is not an efficient way for us to solve the problem. So I hope that the government will consider our difficulty and come out a long-term solution to reduce the pollution for downtown area.
All right, I would like to suggest a solution for that. How about if we allow business vehicle to enter the city, but with a scheduled time, not 24 hours? Is it good for traders team?
Okay. So I have a suggestion that we can have a schedule, sure. But I hope that the more subsidy will be provided for the traders in order to develop the environment-friendly product or business transformation, such as to online business, so we can reduce the chance for customer to come only in the physical shop. So now I think we need more subsidy, so for the businessmen to carry on the online business. And also I suggest that for the government will allow some register vehicles for such as some lorry to carry the goods from and to downtown area. So it will also decrease the unwanted cost and make sure the smooth and constant logistic distribution for the business to the downtown area. Okay.
Yes, Shira, you can go first. Sorry.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I do agree with the idea of opening the road for traders to load their goods and online business also. But uh, it, is it possible if we consider to open the road for probably in the weekend? No, I mean, because the thing is, in the weekend, the people have their time to buy groceries, to go out with their families all. And I think that this can help can help to reduce the loss that the traders have to face. Like, I know that we want to reduce the air pollution, but we cannot expect to have like zero pollution index at all. Okay, so I think this approach can give benefit to both parties, where during the weekdays when we close our road, we can reduce the amounts of air pollution index, and maybe the tourists can come during that day. So during the weekend, the benefit can go to the traders way, where they can recover a bit from their loss. Like, not everyone know how to use online shopping. Some of the customers are senior citizen, so not everyone know how to use the online shopping. Not all people know how to use the public transport and able to load the goods from the store. Okay. So Shahiran, thank you.
Yeah, about that, because some of the customer do not, as you mentioned, customer do not know how to use online shopping and so on. The thing is that this thing is new. We need to understand that this road closure is a new thing that to the users. And I just want to ask one question to the traders team. Is your customer is a regular customer, or they often come from the new customer or tourists? Can you guys answer me that before I can answer your question, Shira?
Okay, thank you. So our customer, some of them are regular customer and some of them are new customer. But as for the regular customer, we are afraid that we need to lose our regular customer also due to this road closure. And for the new customer, yeah, for the tourists also. But how can I say that? Not many people from our customer are new customer. Most of them are our regular customers. So yeah, I know that these road closure things are new, but to we need to look into different perspective as well. Where is this road closure also affect the customer? It has for them, for our regular customer to come to our store where they need to use a longer road and all. So I
Uh,
hope that
yes, I
can
understand
answer
that.
your.
Yes, I understand. Sorry, because as I mentioned, that this thing is a new. Actually, they can learn to find a way to come to your place. Actually, our from the government team, we want to suggest that using the e-hailing for the solution to this problem, because we're afraid that using the personal vehicle actually. Because due to the road congestion, when too many public vehicle are used in the jalan tar, they tend to park their car at the roadside, which will make the traffic jam to be happen. So that's why we are suggesting to allow e-hailing to come to the jalan tar as a transport medium for the customer to come to your guys.
Okay. Apart from that, can I add to Shahiran's explanation, or do you guys want to ask something else? Syahirra, Lau?
Maybe Kimberly just now. She wants to say something.
Yes. Just now, Shahira was saying about allowing e-hailing drivers to actually come in, right? But if that is so, then this kind of contradicts the point that the City Council has made about the public transport system and emphasizing the use of public transport system in order to also reduce air pollution as well. Because I think that the actual long-term solution to this problem, to air pollution and so on, is to actually enhance the usage of the public transport system that we have now, to improve it and upgrade it, and also educate the public and also tourists on how to actually use the public transport system well. And after this has become the norm, then only we move on to actually consider other solutions, other options, such as maybe closing certain roads but not all of the roads. If now we suddenly implement the road closure, it would drastically affect the businesses, it would drastically affect mobility of people, it would drastically affect the ability of workers to come to their workplaces as well. So I hope that the City Council will take this into consideration first.
Okay, I understand what you are saying, Kimberly, and taking consider of what Syahirra and Law said just now. So yes, it is true that if we open the road for with scheduled road closure, it will increase the road congestion, the bad road traffic congestion. So and based on what Syahirra requested just now, she wanted we to open the road on the weekend only, which we can predict that opening the road for weekend only will increase the road traffic on the weekend, because if we close the roads on the weekdays and only open it on the weekend, so of course everyone will go out on weekend and the traffic will happen, the bad traffic congestion will happen on the weekend. So I consider your request just now, Kimberly, that we close certain roads only. So we are going to make a partial road closure, not completely close all the roads, because by by closing partial roads, let's say if we have 10 roads connected to Jalan Tar, so maybe we can close about 5 to 6 roads only to reduce the road congestion, but still allowing some of the businesses such as the traders and for the lorries and vans to unload and load their goods from your shop. And then for your stand against the e-hailing, we actually here we suggested the e-hailing because we wanted to support the losses that your business have lost. We would like to give an opportunity to the people that lost their job because of this road closure. So we open one other job scope, which being the e-hailing rider to actually have work to do, and apart from that they can support your business, to sell your business but send it to the houses by themselves instead of the customer going to the shop themselves.
Okay, so I have some. I don't agree that the e-hailing will help to increase the business, like because the trader will also have to hire the riders or the senders to send the goods from the shop to the house, and because they will also face a problem to hire more people in this logistic, and they have to think how to manage this business. So this will become also an additional cost for the traders to carry on these matters, and they also have to pay for the extra postage fee, send or receive the parcel from and outside to the shop. So this may encourage the logistic business, but it will satisfy other business such as like the clothing, the food, or the retail electronic shop which is placed in the downtown area. So okay, so that is my point.
Yeah, okay. Look, I understand that some of the e-hailing they might help traders in along Jalanta, but not so much. And actually, from our government team, as we can see, in Malaysia itself, we have a few zone in outlet in Malaysia that is duty free, which is you do not have to pay for tax. And this is our best solution for you guys is to make certain part of Jalanta, certain zone in Jalanta as a zone duty tax zone, duty free zone, which mean that you guys don't have to pay for the GST for 6%. And I think that this is our best solution. And if you can accept that, I believe that you guys can increase your sale, because tourists and customer will tend to come to your place and go through all the e-hailing stuff and go by transport, public transport, and they are willing to walk for a distance to come to reach to your place in order to get a duty free, because 6% is actually quite a lot, because in Kuala Lumpur, in especially Jalanta, they do sell something like more than 1,000 ringgit, which they can save up to 100 ringgit in a single purchase. So this is our best option for you guys. If you guys can accept it, then we can work on it.
I would like to know if, say that, okay, so you said that we are able to make the zone as a duty-free zone, and a lot of traders will benefit in terms of the flow of customers, right? But like you said just now, that if we also use, if people actually use e-hailing, the e-hailing services to actually come to these shopping areas and all, wouldn't that cause more congestion, because there would be such a huge inflow of tourists, such a huge inflow of people? And also I would like to know, if you actually close the roads to all these areas, wouldn't that cause congestion outside the area before they come into the roads? Or are you allowing the e-hailing drivers to actually come into the roads to head to these shopping areas?
All right.
Oh, okay, sorry, Richman, you can go.
All right. Regarding that e-hailing and the public transport efficiency, what we can see that, yeah, this is a new norm that our people need to accept. All right. So we really take into account all the problems by the traders, but we also need to think about our future. If we allow, as we can see now, if we open the road for personal vehicle, sometimes a single vehicle only carries one person. Imagine if many people, right? We have, I think that the number of cars entering Kuala Lumpur is more than 1 million a day. So if we, like for this Jalan Tau, we close the road and we only open for this for certain time. For the certain road only. I think that we can reduce that. We can reduce the number of cars entering the city, and also the duty free will solve the traders' problems regarding the drop of sales and increase the number of customers. And part of City Council team, we agree to open our road to all business vehicles that only handle the loadings and unloading goods only, which they can enter that area all the time, but with only limited routes. And also we allow all e-hailings, emergency vehicles, buses, taxis, and all public transport to enter the road. For your, I understand that some workers are using personal vehicle to go to that to go to their workplace, right? So like now we have many open parking spaces, and very walking distance they can reach Jalan Tau easily. So I think that we cannot open the road for the workers, but only the business vehicles that related to the loadings and unloadings work only. I think that maybe we can come to a good win-win situation.
Maybe we can come to an agreement here.
Yes, I agree with your solution, and I hope that we can cooperate together for together and the city councils to reduce the air pollution in the downtown area.
Yes, and for better future in Kuala Lumpur, a well-planned city.
So we appreciate your time to listen to our problem, for the
Yeah.
suggestion on how we can handle this problem.
All right.
So
Okay.
So based on the win-win situation from both parties, so I think we have come to the end of our negotiation. Thank you everyone for coming.
thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.